Hi and welcome. In this video I want to show you how to correct for colour and tone using the numbers. Now first let's analyse this image and the histogram. Well, the image, you can see, does have a slight blue colour cast, and the histogram is confirming that for us, that we've got this blue bit sticking out from the grey area. Now the grey area is where the histogram is fairly neutral, and that there's no big imbalance in the red, the green or the blue values. But this blue bit sticking out here in the highlights, that's where we're going to notice a colour cast, and it's quite obvious. So we're aiming to make this histogram as grey as possible. We're going to extend the reach of the grey. Okay, let's do it. My name's Ken Fisher and this is Live Link Training. And don't forget, if this is your first time with Live Link Training, please visit my website, and if you scoot to the bottom of any page, just give this link a click here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be really helpful. Thank you very much. Let's get on. Okay, we've established from our initial assessment that we've got a blue colour cast going off here. Now what we need to do is add the opposite of blue, which will be yellow, to neutralise it. So let's do it, but let's do it accurately by the numbers. So firstly I'm going to select my white balance tool, but I'm not going to click with it. I'm just using it to get to those numbers at the bottom, which is the red value, the green value and the blue value. Now we can see here that if I hover over the snow, I'll get in a red 65.2, green 67.1 and a blue 75.7. Yeah, quite a blue colour cast we've got going off in here. Now let's try and correct this by using the numbers. So I'm going to use the temperature and the tint slider here because we're going from blue to yellow, so I want to add some yellow. So I'm just going to click in the numbers box there and then back onto my image where I can see my target and the loop and my values. Now we can use the up and down arrows to change the temperature in 50-degree increments just with one click, or if you hold the shift key down we can do it in 200s. So if I just go up, you can see that that's going up in 50s, and if I hold the shift key down now I can come down in 200s. We'll stick to 50, and what I'm going to do is keep pressing the up arrow, and what you'll see is that the blue suddenly starts moving to the left, and eventually it will disappear behind the grey. And if you look at the numbers now, we've got red 63.9, green 64.1, blue 64.6. They're within a percentage point of each other, so 63.8, 64, 64.2. That is pretty good, and you can see the histogram is all grey, so we've now got a completely neutral image, and we can tell that by the histogram and we can tell that by the numbers. So we've now accurately removed the colour cast by using the numbers, the R, G and B values. Now let's look at the exposure by setting the white and the black points. Now again we need this tool, we need the white balance tool again, but I'm not clicking with it again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tab down. So I'm just going to hit the tab key and it will tab me down till I get to the white slider. And then again I'm going to hover over an area of snow and we'll see that we've got the value 63, 63 and 64. So it's again neutral, but I'm going to use these values now. And we can see from the histogram that we've got a lot of pixels missing. We've got a lot of tonal range that's just not there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the white point by moving this point over into this corner, but I'm going to do it by the numbers. So again I'll just move back just so that we can see what's going on, and then I'm going to use the up arrow. Now we can see the up arrow takes it one at a time. Now we've got quite a way to go, so again if I hold the shift key down I can do it in tens, and it just gets me over there quite quickly. So if I go to the, whoops, that's a bit too far, I'll just bring it back and take it into that corner. but I don't want to take it right into the corner. A good rule of thumb is that if you've got about 95% on the red, the green and the blue, that you will get detail in that snow. If you take it right up to 100%, it will blow out to pure white, which I don't want. I do want, when I print this, I want a little bit of detail in that snow. Okay, we'll now go down to, I'll tab down to the blacks. And the great thing about this is you can use shift tab. You can go between all these sliders. So I can tab, or I can shift tab to go up, or I can tab to come down. So I'm now in the area of the blacks, but I could really do with a point of reference on this. Now I've got my clipping indicator switched on, and if you look in this little post here, we've got some clipping happening. And I'd like that not to happen. You can see there in the loop that I've got, it looks like a number 1. I've got some clipping going off in that post. Okay, well, let's zoom in a little bit. So I'll zoom into 1:1 so we can see it a bit better. And if I hover over that little point there, you can see that I've got a red value of 1.2, green of 1.2 and a blue of 1. And again, I don't want 0 here. I don't want pure black. I want something that's going to give me a little bit of detail. So now I'm just going to click back in my blacks to make sure that I've got the value box active. I'm going to hover my cursor over the clipping, and then I'm going to press the up arrow. And you can see what's happening. The red, green and blue values are going up and the clipping is going down. And it's all gone on that little part at about 2.7. But again, a good rule of thumb is if I get this up to about 5, that I will have detail in those shadow areas. So I'll get it up to 4.5, something like that. I'm happy with that. And then we'll zoom back out again. And we can see that we've got a pretty good image now. We've got some nice white snow, and we've got detail in all of these areas because we've got no clipping. That's pretty cool. Now I'll just finish it off. We've got obviously some horrendous vignetting around the edge of the image. I'll just scroll down now and I'll make sure that my enable profile corrections is switched on, and what that will do is it'll apply a correction based on the lens that I'm using, and it will pick up the lens from your metadata. So if I click on that, you can see, hey presto, that's a pretty good job of just getting rid of that, because it's actually found my lens and then said, well, there is a vignetting issue with this, so we'll apply a slight correction just to make sure it's gone. Okay, well that's how to correct for colour and tone using the numbers. I do hope you found it useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up or leave a comment in the more area under the video. I'll see you in the very next video. Bye for now.